Hi, this is Ethan from NoSleeplessNights.com, and in this review I'm going to be talking about the Letsfit white noise machine. Now this is one which I think is really good for parents of small children, mainly because it has 3 lullabies. There are actually only 14 sounds in total, so 3 out of 14 is very dedicated towards children, I think. It also has a night light, which is quite unusual for white noise machines, so again it's just a useful feature for adults who have children. Perhaps it's not one which is going to be so good if you're an adult looking for yourself, unless you're a massive fan of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. So without further ado, let's take a closer look and I'll show you the button, show you how it works, play through all 14 sounds so you can decide in advance whether it's going to be the one for you or not. Okay, the first thing to talk about is the power. As you can see here, it has a standard power adapter. It doesn't have an internal rechargeable battery, and you can't use batteries, so it does need to be plugged in at all times to work. And the cable itself is around 90 centimeters long, which is long enough to reach a nightstand. So let me plug it in and I shall be back. Now the Letsfit doesn't have a standard on or off button. You actually have to hold the grill for 2 seconds to turn it on. It has a beeping sound, something to be aware of, and there you are, starting with crickets. Now I'm just going to turn it off again because otherwise I'll end up talking over it constantly. And I did a video earlier and it was very annoying listening to crickets in the background while I talked the whole time. So I'm just going to talk through the buttons and then we'll play through the sounds. So as you can see, there's 3 buttons here. First of all, we've got the plus and the minus button, and that's to do 2 things. You can use it to cycle through the sounds, of which there are 14, but you can also use it to change the volume. And I have to say, I find that a little bit annoying personally, because pressing the buttons to change the sound is fine, but then to hold it down to change the volume means that it takes a longer time to change the volume than a normal button would do. It also makes it slightly difficult for me to do this review because I can't easily turn the volume down when I'm talking. So I do apologise if I end up talking through some of the sounds. The final button here is for the timer. So if I turn it back on again, this is one time when it's useful. Something that I do like about the timer, if I turn the volume up, you'll hear it talking when I press the timer.
15 minutes timing.
So I've got 15 minutes,
30 minutes timing.
30 minutes, and let's go up to,
30 minutes timing.
that's 90,
120 minutes timing.
120 minutes timer. So you can have from 15 to 120 minutes timer, but if you don't select a timer, it will play all night. Now let me demonstrate that volume thing that I was talking about. If I hold the button, it goes up to quite a loud maximum volume. And if I try to turn the volume down again, you see it actually takes quite a long time. I have to hold the button for a fairly long time, which makes it difficult for me to change the volume easily. But if you know what volume you want, you can just leave it on that setting. Now the final button worth talking about is this one, which is the night light, which, as I said in the introduction, is a good feature for parents if you need to walk around a child's bedroom in the night without disturbing them with a strong light. Now you can actually see it on the desk there, but if I quickly cut to a video I took last night, then you can see it in action in the bedroom. Okay, so those are the buttons. Now let's go through all of the sounds. I'll try not to talk over them too much. Just leave a comment here or there. So this one's crickets. This is singing birds. That's the wrong button there. We've got ocean wave. Thunderstorm. Here we have water stream. And Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. I timed it. This is on a 40-second loop. Hush Little Baby. This one's on around a 1-minute loop. And Rockabye Baby. This is just over a minute long as well before it loops. Okay, and now we've got white noise. Turn the volume down a bit. And then we've got pink noise, which is a bit deeper. And then brown noise, which is deeper still. This one's the fan sound. And this is the first of the 2 clothes dryers. So let me just turn that off for a second again. I'm just going to talk through some of those sounds. Personally, I think the sounds are actually very good quality. The speaker sounds good even on maximum volume. The speaker is a maximum of around 3 watts, I believe, which means that it's not the loudest white noise machine, but it's definitely louder than some of them out there. As for the sounds themselves, most of them are on loops, but there's no break in the loop, and you can't really tell, which is a good thing, apart from the lullabies. Now, the ocean wave is one which I'm not a massive fan of because it sounds more like someone splashing around in a pool than an actual ocean. And as for the rain is accompanied by a thunderstorm. So if you like to listen just to rain, then you're not going to have that. You also have the thunderstorm. As for the white noise, I like the fact that there's pink and brown, which is deeper than the standard white noise. And for the fan sounds and the clothes dryers, I'm not sure why they've put 2 clothes dryers in, but they did. But I guess that's something that they believe small children are going to potentially enjoy listening to. But other than that, I think the sounds are good quality, especially for $20. So there you have it, the Letsfit white noise machine. As I said in the beginning, this is one which I think is dedicated towards parents of small children. Not going to be the best one if you're an adult looking for yourself, especially if you want to take it into the office. Otherwise, you might have a few raised eyebrows as you blast out Twinkle Twinkle Little Star from your desk. So overall, I think for the low price of $20, it's a good one for parents, but not much use beyond that. So thanks again for watching. This is Ethan from No Sleepless Nights. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel to keep in touch with me, see more white noise machine reviews, and also other sleep products. Thanks again.